All right, so we got another thing going on with BioWare. They claim that Dragon Age the Veilguard sales have reached 1 million copies as company hunts down whistleblowers. Interesting. Man, this so they got some Ed Snowdens in the game industry, huh? Exposing the truth or something. That's crazy. Insane. All right, let's see what's going on with Dragon Age Veilguard, because apparently we all know like Dragon Age is not doing very good in this kind of work. Which is very interesting. So let's see here. Dragon Age the Veilguard sales have reportedly reached 1 million copies according to an internal memo from BioWare. However, this might not be good news for the once popular RPG studio. As you guys know, or have you guys been tracking it, pretty much Dragon Age the Veilguard was a very popular franchise that people have done multiple videos on and streams, and just like overall it was a great game, fun game to play, very immersive. But then it took a turn because of something that was put into the game, and it's forced upon players. On top of that, the gameplay of when you're playing it, like I said in the previous video, the game looks beautiful from what I've seen from the gameplay. The environments, they look amazing and everything, but it's just the dialogues were just very dry. It was and every time when somebody would talk to you, they always have to mention certain things, and obviously they would not talk at you, they would talk down to you like you are nothing or like you are stupid. So anyway, let's go further. Since Halloween release of Veilguard, there have been a striking number of leaks coming out of BioWare and EA. Independent commentators like Smash JT, Eddie Meehan, and former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, aka Grums, have been spilling the tea regarding abysmal sale numbers, horrible reviews, and shocking return rate and plummeting resale values. As we saw before, like I said in the previous article and video as well, that the sales were like crazy, return rates were insane as well. If you guys want to check that out, I highly recommend checking out that video before you watch this one. It's insane to see what they're doing. So there are speculations. People are talking about these numbers of the 1 million copies that we have here that they are recording, that they're saying that is out there. Some people are saying that it's inflated. Like it's probably, a bundle for like a GPU or something, because we all know Unknown 9, they had a bundle where if you bought like a brand new GPU, you got the game for free, and that counts as a sale. But even if you don't play the game, if you just bought the GPU because you're like, it could be a little cheaper, and it comes with this game, you don't want to play it, it still counts as a sale towards that. So that's a possibility of that. All right. So let's see here. We're looking at what Grum said. Grum said, we're winning. DAV, which is Dragon Age Veilguard, has fallen. Dragon Age Veilguard has failed to recover its costs. It has failed, and no, holiday sales won't save it. Excuse me. BioWare is so angry that Dragon Age Veilguard sales numbers have leaked, that they are launching an internal investigation to find out basically who is giving the information to the streamers. Because, like I said, there's stuff that's been going around with pretty much gaming media, where it's like IGN and PC Gamer and like all these other outlets and everything, media outlets, that are giving this game that like an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. Some might even do a 10 out of 10, saying like, oh, these are good, because they can constantly keep getting these, review copies and everything, and keep the business going. But just like how I guess the rest of the world is with the gamers and stuff, we see through the BS. We know what's going on, and we're like, how are you? Especially when some of these studios have the gall to say this game equivalates, or even worse, is surpasses Black Myth Wukong. If you guys have not seen Black Myth Wukong, pretty much pull up any stream, pull up any YouTube video, just watch it. Everything in that game looks amazing. Combat system, the environmental art, the story of it, like just everything, the dialogue, the character design is so good. Like you cannot go wrong with that. So seeing like having that is insane. Everybody was like, okay, you guys completely lost your mind. You guys are just doing this so you guys can get some money, somewhat money, and you guys can get your codes so you can like, get the game for free. But people, like I said, are no longer listening to that BS, and they're like, we'd rather listen to YouTubers. That's why we have Smash JT, Melody Mac. That's why we have Vara Dark. That's why we have Legendary Drops, and a whole bunch of YouTubers that actually play the game and do research and then give us a full breakdown of why the game is good, why the game is bad, and they give us their own opinion about it. Yeah, for us, the viewers or the consumers that are thinking about getting the game, or I guess you say on the fence, it gives us the perspective of like, okay, well, obviously we're not going to go into we're not going to believe what the media says, and also we don't believe what they say, not in a bad way or anything, because it should be depending on what you think. So you can see a game like, that IGN could say it's a terrible game, but you see the gameplay and you're like, this is actually fun, right? So then you want to try and play it, and then you do, and you're like, this is a fun game. Compared to, a game that could be really good, or a game that they say is like the most amazing thing ever, but then you play it and you're like, well, this is crap. Why the heck did I do this? Type of thing. It should be based off of what you think. And that's why I say to everybody here that's watching this video, when it comes to video games, make sure you go based off of gameplay and go off of what you think. Yeah, hear their point of views and take that into consideration, but mainly go off of what you believe, what you think. If you think the game is good or not. Okay, that's it. Anyway, let's see here. So then Smash JT has his video that says BioWare employee leaked Dragon Age VAILGUARD sales numbers to me, and yikes. And that's when we found out it was very eye-opening. All right. So, according to sources close to the situation, BioWare is furious that at the leaks that have launched an internal investigation to weed out whistleblowers. And then right here is basically the same thing with what Grums was saying in the Twitter post here. And then they said, however, according to Smash JT, his initial source is safe from the ire of BioWare, at least for now. And if you guys want to check his video out, Smash JT, I'll make sure I'll link to that down below in the video so you guys can understand and be caught up with everything that's going on. But they said, I spoke with the original whistleblower after publishing that video, and he put me at ease that no one there knows it was him at this time, Smash JT said in a post on his official website. But the reaction from the fallout of that video speaks volumes for the atmosphere at BioWare right now. They are more concerned with silencing any whistleblowers than addressing the actual issues within the company. Much like Firewalk Studios before their ultimate demise, the toxic positivity has taken over the workplace. Yes. So it's not like a disgruntled, I don't know if they would say it in their terms, like a disgruntled employee, but it's not really a disgruntled employee, but it's like, it's a concern. If you already know that there's going to be a huge concern in the game that you're about to put out, yeah, speak up about it. Say, hey, this, I don't believe a lot of people are going to do this because like how, the character's talking and everything like that. Like, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's, I know you're trying to have representation, but is that representation actually representing what that ideology actually is? People that are, that this puts them from this game. It looks like it puts them in a bad light. It's one of those things. And then like, I try to see both sides of the story. Obviously, I'm just like, this shouldn't be put into the game. It shouldn't be forced upon in the game, because this, honestly, in the game, it is forced upon. If it was like a gradual thing, like, hey, this person, they tell about their life story, and like, pretty much you find out the story of the character, and like, okay, you can kind of relate to it, and then they're like, oh, just it happens by chance this person is this, type of thing. And I'm not trying to put offense onto anybody or anything like that. But I'm just trying to like make people understand. It's like, this person has, I'll use my ethnicity, my race, right? for an example, we have a person that is a heart, like a warrior that's hardworking. His parents died in a fire or something. It was raided by bandits, and now he's like out seeking vengeance, like looking, working with a bounty hunter to like find out the people that killed his parents. Also, it happens to be that he is African American. He's black, right? And you just leave it at that, and people are like, okay, we understand the character. He's black. He's like out for revenge, this and that, blah blah blah, right? You get the gist of it. But if you go the way how they did it, and you just constantly say, well, hey, I'm black. Well, I'm black, yes. And then like, somebody talks, somebody's in a conversation, and then they talk about the character, and they're like, oh, by the way, that character's black. It'd get annoying, right? It would get super annoying. So that's why that is very irritating. It's very irritating towards the player. It doesn't really give you immersion to it. And if you have dialogue in the game, especially for like a game like this, and you're constantly doing this, guess what the player's going to do? The players are usually going to skip the dialogue. They're going to just play the game just for like the actual like parts where they can play. And they're going to skip the dialogue and just not care. And that hurts the people that actually did the UIs, that did the voices, that did the animations, that did the scenes and everything. Like all these positions that worked on that specific scene and the interactions and everything, like they don't really get any love for it because of what is going on there, right? So a lot of people are just probably going to skip it just so they can hurry up and get through the game, or they're going to look at it and like, okay, they're going to realize, hey, this is constantly happening, and they're just going to be like, well, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's not actually appealing. If it's within the 2 hours on Steam and digital purchases, then they're just going to get the full refund back and just go play something else. It's usually what happens. So let's see here. It says that it was originally reported by both Smash JT and YouTube commentator Eddie Mian. I'm sorry if I messed that up, but that if I just messed up the name, I'm sorry. I apologize. That the game had sold only 500,000 copies with more than 30,000 refunds issued. However, BioWare is intentionally disputing those numbers, claiming in a memo sent out to its team that they crossed the 1 million copy threshold. And then they said, this is coming from Smash JT, I believe, and was talking about this in his video, saying, I've been informed by my source at BioWare that they have updated over the weekend, and Dragon Age the VAILGUARD has now crossed over 1 million sales, Smash JT said on X, Twitter. While I personally still have my doubts to this number based on the surrounding circumstances, I wanted to pass along the info in the interest of full disclosure to all. I imagine BioWare will be making a marketing push at some point soon with this info. Yeah, they're probably going to push it out to like all these gaming outlets and everything like that, saying, hey, well, this game has broken 1 million copies, this and that. But the thing is, people don't care about the sales of the games. They care about the quality of the games. Does it function? Is it well? Like, does it function well? Is the graphics appealing? Is the story base? Is the storyline good? Does it grab the player's attention? Being like, ooh, I need to play this game. I need to play this game. I really want to play this game. Can people resonate to it? And not many people are doing. Not many people feel like they resonate to the character or the game itself. They just know that, hey, it's Dragon Age. Oh, that is a great franchise. I got to check this game out. They're basically using the name to get people to play it, obviously. So it's just, it's hard. It's hard to see, and it's sad to see like people who really love this game, who really love the franchise, get something like this, and then they feel, upset about it. I've been there before too. I've been there with Battlefield. I'm not gonna lie. I was there as well with Battlefield, where it was like, I've been through Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. That was the first game I played, and that was on the 360. And then I played Battlefield 2 on PC at a friend's house, and then I really got into it. Then when they finally ported it over to console, and they said, hey, Battlefield 3, you're getting jets and everything in 2001 or 2011. I was so excited. I started playing that game like crazy and everything like that. And then Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline was kind of weird because it was like, okay, it's not military, it's cops and robbers, which was cool. Sorry, I'm diverting. And then went to Battlefield 1, which was interesting because it was like, oh, instead of World War II, it's World War I, which a game has never done before. And then they did Battlefield 5, which was World War II again, which we were like, eh. And it kind of had some of the DEI stuff in there too, because the character that they had in there, they had a female character in there, and then they had they had a black guy in there. And we're like, okay, there's black guys in World War II, but it was like having a female infantry in World War II. It was like, well, that didn't happen. But, and yes, there was some outrage behind it. But the thing is, we didn't care because there was so much stuff that was going on in Battlefield. Like, we're worried about we're like too immersed into the explosions, the gunfights, the destruction. Like, all that stuff was going on where we're just like, we can deal with that. That's fine. We can deal with it. But the fact that you're dealing with a story-based game like this, there's no like, you know, throwing it out and be like, whatever type of thing. That's the issue that's going on here. All right. So they said this: even if this figure is true, after a 9-year development and cost swelling to reportedly exceed $200 million, it's estimated that the game will have to sell up to 5 million copies to break even. It's also unknown whether BioWare is referring to the number of copies sold by retailers or the number of copies they've shipped to retailers. That is true. That Park Place source that works in retail management has told the outlet that his sales region, comprised of 7 stores, has seen an exchange and resale rate of 75% for the troubled title. That is insane. And that was also in the last video as well, talking about the whole price and everything like that. So if you guys want to check that out, I highly recommend checking that out. It's insane. I'll have it somewhere up here. But yeah, it was insane to see something like that. So it said that the trade value in for VAILGUARD would also support the theory that there's plenty of copies clogging up retailer shelves. As of this writing, the trade-in value of Dragon Age: The VAILGUARD on PlayStation 5 is up to $22, also on Xbox. I believe those are the physical copies. That figure is actually the value of store credit. Players looking to return this brand new $70 game for cash will only get the net of $14 or $15 for a pristine copy. Concurrent players have also dropped off big time. And it's crazy here that you see in the Steam charts, the all-time high for a well-franchised game is only at 89,000 players. And this was the all-time peak, and this was 11 days ago. People thought that over the weekend, usually the numbers would inflate a lot, and you get like, you know, probably hundreds of thousands and stuff like that. Especially you would think for a title like this. No, it went up a little bit, but then honestly, it's just going down. All right. So then they said, as of this writing, the game has 27,277 players, with a 24-hour peak of 31,654. At launch, the game experienced a high of 89,418. That's a 64.6 drop before the game is even a month old. Usually when you see something like this, would be around like 6 months, because it's like, okay, now we know how the game is, how it plays out. Is there content that's constantly going? If not, okay. And usually there's like other games that come out, but this has only been like a week, which is interesting. BioWare seems to be toting the 1 million units figure internally as a success, but according to Smash JT's source, the atmosphere within the company is grim and tense. Yeah, especially if you had $200 million to make the game, and you had 9 years, and the game gets shipped out, cool. But the fact that if it is 1 million copies sold, that's still not enough to cover what the budget was given to you. Because then also it's just more but money that was pretty much burned. And it's like, well, if you got a $200 million, this was me personally, if you had a $200 million budget, right? I would rather put all that resource or that money into the game itself and everything, make sure we have the time, the resource and everything to make that game. And then what we have left over, which would be like a few $1 million, right? Then let's put that into the marketing. Let's put them out there on ads and things like that. I believe people are just like, obviously you're paying your employees and everything, and everybody in the staff that has been working on the game, which is good. You should be doing that. If not, that's very concerning. But on top of that, you got to make sure that it's on like really qualified resources, and also seeing what the deadline is. but they said that they have 9 years. It is insane to see. Very insane to see. What's up, Deb? Yeah, it's very insane to see that $200 million going into certain games, $400 million, as we saw with Concord and everything. It just makes everybody in the gaming industry and also people, the gamers themselves, see when they see this number, where is that money going? That's the huge thing. Where is that money going? Because the game doesn't feel like it's $200 million. Doesn't feel like it. If I want to see like some insane stuff, $200 million is like Black Myth Wukong. I don't care. I will bring that up. From Software, one of my favorite games because it's one of my favorite franchises that I grew up with. Armored Core 6. That looks like a $200 million game. That thing is crazy. So I was like wondering, what the hell is going on? Where's the money going? And things like that. All right, let's see here. What else? Despite the reported sales, according to my insider, the atmosphere at BioWare is anything but celebratory, Smash JT said. Morale is at an all-time low, and there's extreme tension surrounding the game's reception and the state of internal relations. The response to the VAILGUARD has been weak, with YouTubers and players alike voicing concerns about its quality and perceived indoctrination. Alongside a severe lack of any innovation amid this, internal pressures are taking a toll on BioWare's team, adding multiple layers of stress to an already difficult launch. Yes, it is very difficult. I would assume, like, especially people that were working on this game and it's like their very first like AAA title to be shipped. I feel bad for them because it's like, again, I'm like speaking for developers, I'm speaking for like artists and stuff. And I mean, hey, maybe they were like, this is what we wanted to put out. But I feel like there are people that are also against it, that were like, this is like, we played the game before, like we know like this is just not what the community wants. We are also looking, we do research and look online and see what people actually want. That's especially like in the game industry, if you're working in like QA and things like that, people are going to wonder what the hell is going on here, right? They're going to be like, this is what we want in the game. And then if clearly that's not what's going on in the game, then it's like, well, they're going to ignore us. And it's to the point where people are getting fed up where they're going to start speaking about it and just not purchase the game, which is going to be a pretty much good boycott for the game. And pretty much what's going on there is when the studios are like, what the heck? They're not buying our games. Oh, they're just haters. That's what they want to say. Oh, they're just haters. And then eventually it's going to get to the shareholders. And that's when you start getting studios closed down. So they said, what do you think BioWare is lying about the sales numbers? What kind of future does the game developer have after this? Sound off and let us know. Again, it's just people expected a certain product. It didn't deliver. Yes, the game is out, the product is out, but it's not the product that people wanted. It's not the product that the target audience that you're trying to sell it to wanted. And that's the problem. You got to go what majority wants. Don't go with what a small group of people would want or what you think people would want. This is why you have communities. This is why you have surveys. This is why you have playtests and things like that. That's why you got betas and alphas and insider sessions and things. You have that so then people can try it out, test it, and they give you the feedback. Either if it's verbal, if it's through a video, audio, whatever. They make these feedbacks so then you can be like, oh, okay, this is what's good, this is what's bad, this is what can be improved, this is what is sustained. Maybe you can tweak it a little better to make it a little better or something like that. Like, it's just trial and error. It's trial and error that happens. But when you take feedback or taking feedback and constructive criticism as a negative thing and you think of it as an attack and then you try to attack back at the people, that's where it becomes a problem. And then that's where it makes people not want to buy the game, or they don't want to be part of that company that makes that said game. And that's the issue that's going on. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What you guys think about just the game industry in general, and also what do you think about what's going on here? It's crazy that there are whistleblowers and stuff talking about video games in a, I guess you would say, informative way. It's not your data miners where they're talking about, hey, this content is coming out. It's more of like, this studio is about to go down or something, you know? things like that. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about the industry and what you guys think on the current state of video games. I know for me, I'm probably just going to go back and be playing some old school, playing some original Halo or play some SSX Tricky on EA, like an EA game, things like that. All right. Stop the channel, guys, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Peace.